So I was dating this one guy, right? And he was in a profession that I just could not get into. He's a pastor. I'll just say it like that. He is a churchman. He is the man who people go to for all that. He's an actual pastor. And me and him are in the same. We're all the same age, right? So I had to. I just once I found out his profession and how he moves within it, I couldn't work. I couldn't get jiggy with that. Like, how dare you use the church's money to pay for my Uber, or buy Gucci slippers, or buy an Escalade on the church's money instead of your money that you made on your own. I had to cancel that. I was like, no, I couldn't align with that, so I canceled you. Like, no. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I felt no remorse.
It's a phenomenon you've probably heard of, and you may even have fallen victim to: cancel culture.
I don't believe in the word canceling. I believe that there is a time when a strong group of Twitter people get together and say something at one time.
But yes, there is such a thing as people who should be canceled, who should be stopped. The things that they're saying, in the context that they're saying them, in the place that they're saying them, given their position, are destructive and wrong.
I've been canceled. Right. I've been canceled before they had cancel culture. I was canceled before they had the term.
Cancel culture is the reason we have the Me Too movement. Cancel culture is the reason women can finally speak up. Cancel culture is the reason we finally get justice. Cancel culture is one of the best things that happened to your life, and you don't even know it.
Cancel culture, defined as mass withdrawal of support from public figures or celebrities who have done things that aren't socially accepted today.
Hi, my name is Aracelis Harris, and I have been a victim of cancel culture. So I first became aware that I was being targeted by cancel culture when I had gotten a screenshot from a friend through Instagram that a tweet that I had posted was going viral. And they said, "Hey, is this you?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so exciting." And then once I opened the comments, they were not really nice things that were being said about me. So that's when I kind of knew for sure, like, oh, I'm in trouble. I think overall, the experience affected my mental health and well-being solely because there was so many people, like thousands of people, that were being super mean and nasty to me and finding my social medias and just targeting my appearance and things that I liked. And so it really takes a toll when thousands of people are saying that, you know, they don't like you and you should go die. It's really hard to kind of just ignore that.
My name is Demetria Towns. I'm a grad student at Texas Southern University and also a news photog at ABC 13 News. So the tweet that I posted was just a simple photo of Fabuloso, just a new scent that I wanted to try, that I'd never seen before, color red or whatever. So when I happened to post it, I was like, the best one. And instantly everybody started blowing up the tweet. You know, first funny comments about, you know, it looking like a drink, and then some agreeing, you know, like it is the best scent, and then some folks is debating that other ones are better. So my phone started getting blown up a little too much, so I put on mute, but it was funny seeing everybody comment on that tweet. So when I realized I was being targeted by cancel culture was when I was in the middle of working. At the time I was a grad assistant at TSU, and folks started tagging me on Instagram. So I'm like, why is everybody tagging me on IG? And I just noticed that it was my tweet going viral, but it was going viral in a different way. Celebrity Roland Ray happened to comment on my stuff pretty much negatively, saying, you know, ew, Fabuloso's dirty, blah, blah. And then, of course, since there's a celebrity, you know, making that comment, there was a good amount of number of people that was following along with him. But there was also other people that disagreed with him.
Many people have different personal definitions of cancel culture. 49% believe that cancel culture was made to hold others accountable. 14% believe it is censorship or restriction of free speech. 12% think cancel culture means spirited attacks meant to cause harm. Victims of cancel culture often report increased feelings of anxiety, depression, and self-isolation. Commonly known hip-hop, rap, and music artist, Travis Scott, was responsible for hosting one of the biggest music festivals in America, Astroworld. With people from all over the country in attendance, the audience was estimated to be about 50,000 people at this two-day event. Many of the people in attendance simply did not have tickets as they were able to jump past the gates and run past security, over maximizing capacity. Ambulance tried to make way through the crowd to help people who have been hurt, but Travis Scott told the concert goers to put their middle fingers to the sky and continue raging. The next morning, news of deaths of concert goers were all over the media. Social media began a movement to cancel Travis Scott, and soon after, the artist was ultimately canceled.
He was then dropped by partnerships and endorsements, leaving Nike to delay a show release, Fortnite to remove the Travis Scott skin, and Reese's Puffs to stop and pause production.
So when I was quote unquote canceled, there was people who were finding my social medias, and through my social medias they were finding my phone number, and through finding my phone number they were finding out where I worked. And so my friends thought it was humorous, my family was concerned, and work was not easy for me because they kept calling my job and saying that like I should lose my job, this colleague should be fired, she's saying this online, like take a look at it, saying that to my boss. So it kind of made the work environment very, not toxic, but just uncomfortable, I would say.
Some victims of cancel culture and unemployment are Danny Baker, American comedian, writer, and journalist who was dropped by BBC Radio for a racial tweet, and Stella Perret, an American cartoonist who made a transphobic cartoon and lost employment with 2 companies. There's also people like Tim Hunt, a Nobel Prize-winning biochemist who made a sexist joke and was forced to resign from the UCL. Also, Vanity Von Glow, a drag queen, attended a rally that was branded as far-right and soon was banned from certain pubs and lost gigs.
Around 60% of U.S. adults believe that calling out others on social media is more likely to hold people accountable. Michael Renner, also known as Killer Mike, is an American music artist and social activist who has faced scrutiny over years for his problematic lyrics. Renner shares his thoughts on canceling and how losing jobs could impact culture.
But to me, it matters that you're able to say what you say so I can honestly hear where you are and I can decide whether to cancel you. I don't need the whole world, from my perspective, to cancel you, because if that was true, I never would have heard NWA. I never would have heard the Ghetto Boys. I never would have read the autobiography of Malcolm X. I never would have known what the Black Liberation Army was. Half the things from my childhood that formed me into the man I was, I never would have been able to be exposed to, because those things would have been labeled everything from hate speech to black identity extremism.
We're demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and canceling that you know so well.
There was this one time, I'd say maybe back in 2022, spring of 2022, I wanted to be a part of this club, right? And like initially they reached out to me and I was like, okay, I did a little research. I was like, okay. So I was like, let me join. So I started the process of joining their club. And then there was one time we were out in this outing and I was blatantly disrespected, like in the worst way. And my so-called club mates that I was going to be joining this with, they were not really looking out for me. They were really more so like who the hell are you kind of deal. So I felt some kind of way about that. And then maybe the next day after, I was called into an office and basically my character was defamated, like in the worst way. And I'm like, wow, y'all really turned something that I was disrespected. I was the one that was actually the victim, and y'all made it me to be the villain. I was like, okay. So 3 days before actually doing the whole initiation routine or whatever, I left. I walked away. And yeah, so that's my whole thing on being canceled.
I think society can address cancel culture in a more constructive way, in the sense that we need to be aware that it's not something we should be so reckless with, and that your words really do have meaning and that they can affect people's lives. It's very easy to fall bandwagon to things, even when you genuinely don't believe in it, but just because it's trendy and it's maybe even funny to you, you want to hop on the bandwagon. But we as a society, we need to really just take it more seriously.
Believe in, don't let nobody, try to run you off from, your opinions or just your simple excitement off of anything. Because there's a lot of people that try to steal your joy off of the simplest things just because they just want to.
To be politically correct, it means conforming to a belief that language and practices which could offend political sensibilities should be eliminated.
In this speech, President Bush discusses what is now known as political correctness.
Free speech under assault throughout the United States, including on some college campuses. The notion of political correctness has ignited controversy across the land. And although the movement arises from the laudable desire to sweep away the debris of racism and sexism and hatred, it replaces old prejudice with new ones. It declares certain topics off limits, certain expression off limits, even certain gestures off limits. What began as a crusade for civility has soured into a cause of conflict and even censorship.
When stating the following statement, calling people out on social media holds them accountable. 39% of Republicans agree with the statement, whereas 75% of Democrats also agreed. Social media has played a pivotal role in fueling the rise of cancel culture, where anyone can be canceled with the tap of a screen. As technology and culture evolve, cancel culture seems poised to follow suit, perpetrating a cycle where public opinion can quickly turn from support to condemnation. The reality is that cancel culture won't disappear anytime soon. It has become a method through which ordinary people exercise their freedom of speech, even as it impacts the lives and reputations of both the guilty and the innocent. The key to curbing the spread of this new bully lies in refining the guidelines and policies that govern social media platforms. It requires a concerted effort to balance free expression with responsible dialogue. This documentary has sought to shed new light on the complexities of cancel culture and the real-world consequences it has on people and businesses alike. As we conclude, the question remains: Is social media the ultimate enabler of cancel culture, or can it be transformed into a space where debate and disagreement don't lead to outright cancellation? The answer may well shape the future of our digital discourse. What do you think?